everyone, today we're going to be playing Katawa Shoujo. Let's get right into it.
The sound of an alarm pulls me out of the fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses for why I already haven't. But honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is very easy here, I don't think they're going to let me get away that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. So eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old sock clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I'd order some to cover such a whatever, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life in this way, a bit like me. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Exactly, yes, we can start from the start. Basics would include keeping the rest of my body in shape along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least somewhere where I'm less likely to fall over any minute. I was surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've never seen before. A prosthetic leg girl. The fact that he's still gets on my nerves. The prosthetic leg girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely like a half-mechanical gazelle. See, what he could be thinking to himself is, the girl who bowled into me over the hallway, why does he just keep doing this? What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps in a somewhat easy loop, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog just like he's oppressing me. Or she just likes running, dude. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health and his prompting me to do so. Even with things being that they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems that my former assailant notices me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and cheerfully jogs over. Good morning, your name is Hisao, right? She grinned, seemingly pleased that she'd remembered my name. You may not remember me. Emmy? Okay, I was close. I thought it was Ami. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hallway yesterday. How would I forget such a blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. Yeah, sorry about that again. Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose it'll be fine. Great! I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you? That's right! Oh, great. I was expecting somebody from the nursing staff, to be honest. What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy? No, it's more like a leaf. I was afraid he would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you were here to do exactly that. No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I had seen a messy-haired transfer student who looked like he'd kind of lost around the track. So why are you down here? Amy strikes a dramatic pose. Trading? For what? Track. Oh, I see. You're on the track team then? Amy nods enthusiastically. Yep, I'm one of the better runners too. And modest about it too. Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know. I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. No, I'm not even sure I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm not into organized sports, you know. It's true, I never even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not that the whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we were able to run together, huh? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you going to warm up? Real men don't warm up. Yes, they do. Come on, stretch. Oh no, you always should warm up. Bad, Hisao. That's how you get a bad workout. She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leads closer. I hate warming up too. She laughed suddenly. I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go! So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at outrunning. Emmy moves around fluidly, throwing herself into the run with sort of wild ambition. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? It's something about hitting on the balls on your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently, I'm not very good at it. That's because you're a beginner at it. You'll get better. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm not really feeling up to more than a couple of laps today, and slow to do a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat grasping demeanor. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, I'm not very good shape right now. Same. Amy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is you started, right? Exactly. Next time you just have to try to hold out longer, and then longer and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm going to get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. Nah, I've got plenty of time. I notice that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, Hisao. See ya. Not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Exactly. Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice at least to feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. I'll try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change in my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. I would feel kind of sticky from all the sweat. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog. What are you doing here? Kenji, sup? What are you doing here? You scared me. What is your problem? I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man. What do you mean all over the place? And why are you looking for me? And why are you naked? This is my bathroom? I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that. Stark naked. Hold my tongue back. Has he? I finally realize I'm still naked too and quickly hold up my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad? It's like he's perpetually seeing through fog. You know, your room and yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up though. Whatever. It's not important. Can I borrow some money? You want to borrow money? No! He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. Doesn't work. He's as transparent as the window pane-sized glasses. Talking naturally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow, it's even more awkward than being naked in front of someone when they can't see me naked. To say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I try to brush the feeling off with little success. Money? Sure, you're gonna give it to him? Are you insane? No. Awesome. Wait, why do you need it? Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal. You do not deserve to be, praised for not stealing from me. That's just common decency not to steal. This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment. Since his thoughts were so clearly pure, his intentions are probably even more sinister, since he can't tell me what they are. I say as much to him. I'm offended, man, but if that's your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza and I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest. I get some of the pizza too, right? No. Are you serious? Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat a pizza. What about you? I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy and then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you and the pizza, and they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before. That's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance so that when the people who wronged my order pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant. Kenji strikes dramatic pose completely without irony. But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened last time I went out without carefully planning it out in advance. I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing? Maybe wondering how I got there. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, splitting in the sky, like how you split a sandwich into 2 equal pieces and make it more manageable to hold and eat. A bird just... what? A bird just went into the bathroom on my head. It was the second most shocking move of my life. What was the first? What was the first? He ignores me. He keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that, even if it's more likely he just doesn't hear me. It's like in the openings of some kind of anime show. You know how there's always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival and they fight at each other and clash swords and there's like big dramatic colors at wars and zoom? It was like that, but with this. Okay. So yeah, I need some money. Please don't leave me hanging, man. Only need like 1,000 yen. It went up by 600 yen. I thought it was 400. Okay. What? I'll pay you back, I swear. You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff? I don't even know when I'll be able to pay you back. You have 1 week. Ah. Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. A particularly disturbing fact given that his baton is conducting freely. You're not supposed to be so tight-lipped about money between brothers in arms. We are not brothers in arms. This stuff is important. I can see why you don't care. But this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy. Make no mistake. You take them lightly, and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back out of nowhere. How do you wake up in the morning with somebody you in your sleep? Does this have anything to do with the story? Am I just listening to conspiracy theories for no reason? Like, what? Why is this such a topic? I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror so I can figure out what kind of frown will best express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway. Which unfortunately means that he just keeps on ranting about any regard to sense or sensibility. So I can have the money. Were you not listening to me? He's blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still and I want to go to class, so I agree to spot him the money, then don't give it to him after he moves. Awesome, thanks dude. We should go bowling later on. Bowling? Bro, I don't want to be anywhere near you. Should I wear my pink bowling shirt with matching shoes or the pastel green with flower accents? Wear bowling clothes. There are bowling clothes? Maybe. Anyway, you had better pay me back. I can pay you back and stuff, right? No. I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. I have to get to class. You're kind of in the way. Oh, sorry, yeah, I don't want to hold you up. I just have some stuff to do myself. The time has come. How did you even get in my room? Time for what? I just like saying that. Okay, now it's time to really come. For what? I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it. This is my bathroom. I was just going to. What does that mean? It's a big bathroom. So, I have to be alone where I can't go. The pressure. Okay, what if someone else comes in? I'll think of something. I give him my practice frown. It looks kind of silly reflected in his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. What was that? This time I will never get back, and I will get him for this somehow. But right now, I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. And again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji, for real. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, and waking up with my head hits the surface of my desk, rubbing my forehead. I realize this is as good a reason for any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside in the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so before she looks rather lonesome before standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it was of importance to look prim when entering the classroom. Excuse me. She calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily. Hisao, good morning. I didn't hear you come in. I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. Likely, if I were to tell too big of a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance? No, she seems to come in only just before the bell rings, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you? No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here. I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess. You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival is coming up soon. Today is the deadline for the event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone's trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute, and maybe that's why it's so quiet today. Hi! Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. Hi, Hee-chan! Hi. Look, it's the class representative. Hello! Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha's or Shizune's use of the word look. Good morning. Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? I am not. Lily seems to be a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might actually not know Shizune is present. She's trying to detect whether or not she is or know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune being the one that actually talks. Man, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind before more than anything else. You're here early, Shizune. You were here even earlier than us. Misha puffs out her chest angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's not that weird, though, that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone or occasion tint. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizune has already moved on. Okay, sorry. Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We need to talk. Festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their project budget reports for their events, even the first year, except you. There's still time to hand it in, isn't there? Today. The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it in my way, I'd have to add all of the necessary paperwork days ago, but someone had to say the deadline. Please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. That is true. Yeah, that sounds like it would be very hectic. I don't know. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class's event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, then some. The one who doesn't that is me. Misha puts her hands on her hips and staying up straight. Wow, she is really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's a whole day left. Please, Hisao, it's all right. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but I'm a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I've forgotten about it. I understand how important I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? Shizune, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me, students from my class. She emphasized this last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune and Misha's effort to rope me into the student council. I guess words must have gotten around. Now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This is just getting better and better. This was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just delegate away as class rep. It's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. Do what? They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school. Give it back to me. If you want, I'll apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Challenge? Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drag out something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? Girl, people have their own issues, okay? You have to be like, oh, well, what are you doing? That's so important. Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts sighing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. And what's with that attitude? I said it's not something you should be delegating away, and are you the class representative, or aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself. Geez. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she is doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers carefully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is. Of course you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Oh my god. No wonder that other girl hates her. I don't really like her now either. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of the sarcasm which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other, that much is clear, but this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. As you should. Fight for yourself, girl. Why did I just see your underpants? I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down and make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That'll be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right. The difference between us is like heaven. It is not hard to guess which one of you might represent. The air between them ripples as the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can disguise it, and it can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Hajaan, don't slack off either. What are you talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hajaan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why she's suddenly getting mad at me. Don't drag me into this. I've done my part. And hey, come on, cut me and Lily some slack. I feel like I really need to Lily's kind of said her part, okay? Lily said her part. This is their feud. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be dragged into their feud? I don't know. Maybe don't drag me into it? Why am I being dragged into this again? I've done more than enough, I think. If you're getting angry with Lily, this has nothing to do with me. No, wait a second. You're implying that the president is more light in scolding me than yourself? Oh, uh-oh. Okay. I went back. I could not take it. I can't take it. I could deal with my choice with just this. I did not change any other choices. Hey, come on. Cut me and Lily some slack. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted. That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week. Lily's taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decided to back her up too. Yeah, you're being really unreasonable with us both. Excuses, excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report, and we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Well, I don't want to commit to something that early, and honestly, I'm starting to really dislike these girls, like the pink and blue haired one. Oh, the pink haired, she's fine. The blue hair, I am not liking, so I'm kind of glad I didn't commit to doing the school council because I'm really not liking her anymore. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, I'll be the me. It will mean to being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you are looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she has ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Sao. I'll leave now then. She gives me the sweetest smile I have seen all week. It turns on. She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week and turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back and can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. I'm happier with that. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events in the morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages in my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes instead of opting to cover the board in rows and rows of questions taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashes of chalk on blackboard seem to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there on the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have time to deal with crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's signing so fast that her hands make noise like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there is a pent-up anger in there. Misha's trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. It seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished up and the girls sit down on their seats again. Ugh, I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use this opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end she starts sighing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misa. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws, I think those encumbrances, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello? Hey, Hanako! Look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hitting behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Excuse me. Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. That was just rude. Oh, she's scared. of her. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point that only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen Satao. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Is she trying to scare her? Of course Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. I feel like I feel like Shizune is just a royal jerk, and she's a bad influence on the other girl that interprets for her. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on her festival project, but who knows where that woman is flirting her at. You need to find her. She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah, I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanako nods frantically, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I got the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. Hanako said it's okay. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get into the cafeteria. Well, there's something of dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. I'll pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. I can get the food for her if she really wants. If it's too crowded, I can get it. Tell me what you want, point it out, whatever. Doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've really done before with girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same though. Even though we are walking the same pace, she never comes within arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable with me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library I was reading. She does not spend the classes she skips. She does spend the classes she skips at the library. Ah, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class like I said, right? Right. With a slight of nod, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both of our minds. So you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That much was rather obvious after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily may be her only friend. It must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflexive nod compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech. Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. She's pretty cute, really. This isn't any need to say more. Both of us content that the discussion's reached an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish moving from one feed area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright? Just keep going. Alright, okay. The students pass up without as much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again. As we enter the building, her momentarily her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've ever known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far behind what I'd call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence, while I ruin her inability to socialize at all. And she tries. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first and come for me to back up, I wonder? Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Exactly. Eventually, the two of us reach the door to class 3-2. With Hanako less than subtly positioned herself behind me, I open the door. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they woke hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There, finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Oh, hey, Lily! She perks her head up as she breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen as best she can. Sorry, who? Sorry, Hisao. I have Hanako too. Hi. She's pretty skittish, considering the number of people around. It isn't too hard to wonder out why. Lily takes a moment's pause to assess the situation before turning to the other students once again. For a moment, just ask for Moria for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already. A quick nod as she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he has to be to make out my face when I met him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight. They're in high demand. That's right. Class lead too, especially for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. Need a hand? I could give you my help if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too. Don't just offer her help without her offering her help, okay? A chance to set her mind on something would do her some good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. Well, you have a point. Yeah, that's true. If she wants to help, she would probably be less likely to ask. You could still ask her if she wants to help instead of like offering her help. You could say, Hanako, would you like to help with me? And then she could either say yes or no, or be apprehensive, whatever. She quickly nods an affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Well, okay. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. That's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help. Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised I know him. I can't really blame her. I take it you've met? Unfortunately. Our rooms and the door are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. He is not my friend, girl. Friend. I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. More like a nuisance. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. We'll go help him then. He knows what needs doing, right? That's right. Just ask if you have any problems. Curiously assessed, Hanako and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed to the white calico in front of him. Hey, Kenji. Hey, guy. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large half-painted kanji that's stretched on the sheet in pencil. Kenji! Huh? What? Who is it? If this is the way he treats class members, it's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me, he thought. Right, I know that, man. What are you doing here, though? His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disrupted by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me remind me that she's here. I was just going to help with the banner. Hanako and I, that is. Hello? Hey, I guess that's okay. I don't know, I'd be careful with him around girls. He seems weirdly hateful of women. As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about-face, his sudden fox hospitality and slight upsetting. Oh right, women. On second thought, this might have not been a great idea after all. That's what I was saying. Hanako and I grudgingly set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, noting the several small paint tins on the ground around it. Class 3-2, noodle stall? You guys selling noodles at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside or something. Or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So how do you want to split this? Do we do borders while you do text, or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine. You do borders. Alright, that's what I was asking. He's surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab the brush, I notice Hanako is already debating between colors to use. By the time I put the brush to the cloth, she already started on a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. Okay, good. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Better to not talk with this guy around. Kenji, it could go off the rails real fast, real easy. Let's not. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working on, leaned towards me and whispered conspiratorially, no. I don't want to hear it. Oh, God. Finished. Looks like I am too. Good job. The two of us connect up the lines of our patterns, mine being as close a copy as I could manage of hers. With a grunt, I let myself up from the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left finishing off a sign, as well as Lily and a couple of students talking amongst themselves in the classroom. Look at my watch. It's a surprise. It's pretty late. Need a hand? I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrists. If her scars extend even to there, just how much of her body was burned. I feel a pang of guilt about it, however, she quickly covers her wrists with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment before noticing that I meant the banner. It does, I guess. Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on desks and shelves, it's much easier to get to Lily as we cross the room. We finished the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done. Lily gives an appreciative nod. Thank you, Hinsao and Hanako. Is there any way I can thank you? It's fine. It beats sitting in my room studying at any rate. I don't mind either. She nods before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still there? Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room. Yeah, just finished. He carefully slides his sign onto the empty section of the shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door. See you, man. Bye. The remaining two students say their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again. Working past school time? Indeed, the class's plans this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stall's looking nice, though. She's right. It shows that a lot of work's gone into them. My, I'm sure a lot of us will be glad to hear that. At least now there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Hisao? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. The nighttime lighting really makes the gardens look quite different. Compared to the usual look of lush greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one of two can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to What is eck? The most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after this mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. We're tired? Yeah, I still got used to the flow of things, I guess. The thing with Shizune took me kind of off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I don't want to sort out what in the world was behind it. About that. I'm sorry about being so public. Shizune and I go back some ways. Her voice seemed slightly irritated. She remembered Shizune, obviously unwilling to discussing any further. I glance at Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is unsurprisingly evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it is something, even if curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival's over in any case. Same. The change of topics welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine my old school's festivals were a lot more low-key than this. Yamaku stresses the idea of a school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals as such special occasions, and yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear our grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That'd go away towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior in any case. As we come up to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective dorms. See you, Lily, Hanako. The two both give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorms just next to the guys. Just as expected in such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly scratch my arms and rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long before walking to my room. It feels good to actually have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seem almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. Good. I made a promise I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy is bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. Hey, he remembers her name though. That's good.